Good morning and happy Monday to you. My name is LaShonda Brown and welcome to Bootstrap Biz Advice Live, where I teach service providers how to work less and live more by leveraging tech and YouTube. Now, if at any point during this live stream you like what you hear, I would encourage you to give this live stream a like because it helps it reach more people. We recently hit a milestone on the channel. We hit 34,000 subscribers. So my friends, let me go ahead and put this up on screen. We're going to do a giveaway. We are going to do AHA slides on the live stream this morning, but we're going to save it to the end. So all the more reason for you to go ahead during the stream at some point, go to LaShondaBrown.com/poll so that you can be eligible to win. I'm going to be giving away a $25 Starbucks gift card. I will email it to you after the live stream is over. So make sure at some point that you go to that address to be eligible to participate. I will also kind of talk you through how I have it set up. I use AHA slides in person when I teach keynotes, and I also use it when I do things virtually. And it really helps to engage your audience and get them more involved. So I've said this in the past, but I am really trying to elevate what we do on the channel and really treat this as your favorite live business show. Okay. So I'm giving you commercial breaks. I'm giving you agendas. We're going to give you some valuable information. And from time to time, I'm even going to have it sponsored. So I am paid no matter what you do or say. So we all win. I can just give value. I can pour into you and the business will continue to grow. It is probably the favorite part I have of my business model, that when I show up live, I do not have to worry about sell, or even worry about how many people are watching, because people watch the replay. And again, I'm being compensated even when I show up. So that is an awesome part of the business. And because of you subscribing to the channel, liking my content, I'm able to make that happen. So before we hop into the information, I want to give our sponsor today some love through a video ad that my husband's team created. This is a video ad about my business banking platform of choice, Relay. Owning a business means spending a lot of time thinking about money. Do you have enough cash to pay your vendors, cover payroll, keep anything for yourself? Relay helps you keep your business on the money. It's my online banking and money management platform that has helped me gain more control over my cash flow. If you've ever read the book Profit First, Relay is the official banking platform for Profit First. Open accounts in seconds, set up auto transfer rules, and put your allocations on autopilot. With up to 20 checking accounts, you can separate cash for every expense: payroll, taxes, owner's comp, and know exactly how much you have to spend with a quick glance in the dashboard. Get banking built for small businesses. Sign up in 10 minutes at LaShondaBrown.com/relay to start your application and get $100 when you fund a Relay account. Here's to seeing your cash flow clear as day with Relay. So I am really grateful for Relay's support, and I would encourage you all to go ahead to LaShondaBrown.com/relay. You can use it for free. And if you qualify for the $100, they will actually deposit that $100 into your business checking account. Now, I'm just going to give you I literally log into this platform every day. There are a couple things that I did recently that made the platform easier to use for my family. So I want to kind of go into that detail, and then we'll hop into the info about email marketing. So essentially, my husband and I have the same CPA, and dear Susan was initially very confused by the massive amount of bank accounts that the two of us had inside of our Relay accounts. I myself have 6 of them. Josh has 4. So you're talking about reconciling 10 checking accounts. And she was just like, my gosh. So I'm like, what can I do, Susan? How can I help? Can I integrate this with QuickBooks to pull in the information from Relay to simplify your life? And long story short, that wasn't giving everything I needed to give. So I did some more research, and I realized you can actually add your CPA as a member of your team. So she has her own login that she can log into Relay, and she can check out what we got going on. On top of that, because my husband and I both use Relay, she can add multiple businesses to her singular Relay profile. So that way she can log in under one login. She can check his stuff. She can check my stuff, do payroll, do all that jam, and it works out really well. If she had other clients that also use Relay, that would show up again under the same login. So for the multi-passionates, you've got a photo booth, you shoot boudoir, you do coaching and consulting and all these different things, and they all have separate LLCs and all this stuff. You can actually manage everything in one profile, which really helps. And also in my case, I am able to help my husband with his bookkeeping and see his cash flow and everything like that by being able to log into my own Relay account. I have him listed as a business because I'm a user on his, so I'm able to do that. So essentially, when money comes into either one of our businesses, I set up auto transfers through Relay. And so a percentage of every dollar that we make goes toward our profit account, operating expenses, taxes. I have a marketing one. I also have one that I keep set aside for events, travel. You can do all that. You can do up to 20 checking accounts, no minimum balance. You can your money can be flying all over the place. So really think of it as an envelope system for business. And that's really why I love it. I use the virtual debit cards all the time. You can get a physical card if you want. It really is incredible because they know how businesses use it. And recently, I'm gonna be all the way real with you. I saved Josh $300 on Dubsado because Relay has their own invoicing system built into your account. It allows people to ACH you, so you're not paying the credit card processing fees. So he went from losing 2.9% and paying for Dubsado to having everything self-contained. So when I talk about tech, I really do try to have some point of reference for using it so that I can give you practical examples. And it is a way for you to support the channel specifically by just signing up. You signing up at LaShondaBrown.com/relay is a great way for them to see there's product market fit, and they'll do more with the community because of that. Now, I also did a recent campaign that just posted on LinkedIn. It is pinned on my Instagram. So you liking those Relay posts, another way for you to support the channel. So although I do love your money, don't get me wrong, there are free ways for you to support me. Like, subscribe, engage with my social media content, because ultimately I am a tech creator first. I'm a tech content creator. I secondarily allow my students to engage with me within parameters where I can teach them and coach them. And that's what my YouTube membership is all about. So we'll talk about that a little bit more during Strategy Corner. But for those of you who are new, I just wanted to give you kind of a lay of the land. So we're going to start talking about email marketing software, which was the topic that I laid out in the email and on the thumbnail. Then we're going to do some behind the scenes. We're going to talk about how I changed my Instagram strategy for November. Then we'll hop into Strategy Corner and I'll give you a week retrospective of how switching from Uscreen to YouTube has affected my membership, and then we will end with Q&A. So I'm going to fit all of that into an hour. It's going to be fairly fast-paced and to the point, but I want to be a good steward of your time, and so that is how we're going to do things. So we're going to hop into this topic, and I want to make sure that you guys have located the poll on YouTube because this is the first time that I have utilized this. If you are looking on your phone, I believe it's pinned to the bottom of the chat. On the desktop, you might find it at the top of the chat. But today's YouTube poll, which is built directly into the YouTube platform, I would love to know, what email marketing service do you use? And the ones that we're talking about today are Flodesk, Beehiiv, and Kit. So if I go on my cell phone, because I don't want to mess up what I'm doing here, let me see if I can see where that poll is. Okay, so for me, the poll, okay, maybe if I unpin this, that should reveal the poll. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see the poll. If not, no worries. I'm looking at the chat. It looks very interesting from your end of the stream. Cool. Okay, cool. But I'll go ahead and close that out. So I would love to know, participate in the poll. I'm curious to see if the poll even lasts for the replay. So if you are currently watching the replay, let me know in the comments by engaging in the poll. What email service are you using? Now, you already know I am a Flodesk partner. So I know most of you are expecting this to just be a Flodesk love session. And while I do love the platform and I do love the people, I am a firm believer that Flodesk is not the best fit for everyone. Which is why I had them eyeballs on the thumbnail. Because here's the thing. I mean, if I was just going to say, oh, it's good for everybody should sign up, use my link, that's not truthful and that's not helpful. So this is what your girl did. I'm going to be all the way real with you. What I did was I went in and I became an affiliate of all three. So y'all, it don't even matter which one y'all choose. Y'all can still bless me with them affiliate clicks. So there you go. So that's the deal with that. So I will tell you that all of them honestly have their own pros and cons. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get real about it. I'm going to do some screen sharing, kind of give you some updates on what I'm seeing with all three platforms and what you should keep in mind. Okay. So first things first, let us go ahead and we are going to start with Flodesk, but we're not going to stay there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share. They did a revamp of their homepage. So some of you, if you haven't logged in a while, you may not have even seen this little refresh here. Okay. Now, here's the deal. When Flodesk got started, Flodesk really was focusing on just email. And then they began to see that there were ways that they could help the small business community to not just build a list and nurture the list, but to also monetize said list. Okay. And so they launched Flodesk Checkout, which, to be completely honest with you, I'm a huge fan. I wish Checkout got more love. Flodesk Checkout is essentially a way that you can kind of make a landing page for different offers, different pop-up offers. And so through Flodesk Checkout, I have sold things like my LinkedIn masterclass, my mastermind, start a YouTube channel in a week. I have noticed that my conversion rate is actually highest when I do a checkout page in Flodesk versus putting it into a formal shop or editing a page on my website. Those checkout templates are really customized to help you to convert. Okay, so if you are not a person who's a copywriter, you're not someone who's a web designer, Flodesk Checkout is worth participating in. Now, as of right now, if I'm not mistaken, you guys can actually try Flodesk Checkout for free until the end of the month. Clock me on that. But I do believe they're letting people try it out right now. And so back in the day, I'm sure you guys remember like lead pages being a thing. You have like Thrive Cart, Sam Cart. Their whole thing was that we're helping you to sell more by simplifying the sales page, right? By reducing the friction and by reducing the things that we're allowing people to participate in, we're going to increase the amount of money that you're making. So what I like about Flodesk Checkout is that at the end of the day, let's see, an ad popped up during the live, which it never does. I missed some. Oh no. Okay, no, that is worth taking a pause. Thank you for letting me know, Camille. They put something in my back end. Yeah, they put something in my back end that said monetize your live streams. And so I assumed it wouldn't do it while I was actually live. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, we're going to quickly pivot real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this here. And I wonder, I don't know. Let's see here. Now I'm really playing fast and loose here. I don't know if I'm able to turn that off while I'm live, but I'm going to try to. Because I already had YouTube Studio on the back end. Okay. I'm turning it off. Camille. Y'all should like this live stream even more just because I turned off the ads. I didn't realize you could run ads during something live. Okay. The more you know, the more you know. Thanks for letting me know. All right. So anyway, so at the end of the day, I think that Flodesk Checkout actually makes Flodesk even more valuable because it integrates directly with Stripe and it integrates directly with Flodesk. So imagine when you are going to sell something, instead of you going and paying for Zapier to connect Flodesk to through Zapier, right? You're able to say, when someone buys this item, I want them to be tagged in this segment and I want them to receive this email and I want to add them to this workflow, what have you, okay? And so I'm going to go into the back end of my Flodesk and show you what I mean. But ultimately, because of that, I think that Flodesk has more value in this season than it did when it first came out. A lot of people are focusing on Flodesk is the cheapest option. Well, sis, they're changing the prices and they're getting rid of unlimited emails at the end of this month. So if you have been sleeping on the unlimited plan, which is the thing that really set them apart when they first got started, they were like, hey, everybody else is charging you per subscriber. We're not going to do that. We are going to charge you a flat rate, a flat monthly rate. If you use an affiliate link, we're going to give you 50% off the first year. It used to be a 30-day trial. Now it's down to 14, but like they're still trying to help the saints. Okay. But the reality is that wasn't sustainable. And so they're changing it, but they are grandfathering people in who lock in by the end of this month. So if the top priority you have in your business is what is the most cost-effective way for me to market my business in a way that is visually appealing, Flodesk is going to win all day, every day. If that's your number one concern, right? But everybody doesn't have the same concerns. Now, back in the day, I was with ConvertKit, which is now Kit. And I switched from ConvertKit to Flodesk because at the time I had a stock photo brand and I wanted something that could showcase my photos better. And ConvertKit was known at the time for being the plain text email sender. Their whole thing was conversions, and conversions were higher when there were no graphics, when there were no thrills and frills. It was just text, which is cute for certain brands. A lot of tech bros really benefited from that format, but I was selling images. So I needed my images to look good. And what was happening is I was having to go into Canva or go into HTML code and literally create these galleries or these photo layouts and then import them as a single image in ConvertKit. So it wasn't responsive, right? Just to try to make my emails look better. So I was literally poised to leave when Flodesk rolled out. And so because I was already ready to go, I stayed up day one of Flodesk and I made a video where I compared Flodesk to ConvertKit and MailChimp. And that was the first video on YouTube that was created without the Flodesk team being involved about the platform. And so that is how I've been connected with Martha, with Rebecca since literal day one of Flodesk. Okay. It was because Natalie sent out an email. Natalie was working with Martha at the time at Honeybook, and she was telling about this new company as a blog post. And I had no idea that they were friends, that they knew each other, what have you. And so I immediately clicked on Natalie's affiliate link, went and signed up for Flodesk, and I've been with them ever since. So I've been rocking with them since August of 2019, I believe, 2018, 2019. And last year, they even flew me out to Lisbon and I helped to cultivate what's now the Flodesk Partner Program with the new batch of affiliates with Flodesk. So I'm just being real with you about my connection to them. I love them dearly. I think that Rebecca is phenomenal with design, and there is no more intuitive email builder on the market. And so when it comes to design, when it comes to pricing, they are killing it. But things will change, like, again, the pricing. And so as of right now, literally at the time of doing this live stream, they have the best pricing model. But that's not going to be forever. So I would encourage you, after I show you a couple things in Flodesk, if you decide that this is something that you want to use, that you hop in and you have to do the free trial and then get a paid plan. But the paid plan is going to be 50% off your first year. So it's going to be $19 a month. $19 a month to grow your list. Okay. And it will stay that way. You will stay grandfathered in to the unlimited emails, but only if the paid account is active by the end of the month. So you can't rock out the free trial and then try afterwards like they're retiring the plan. Okay. So I'm just being all the way real. Okay. Calling a spade a spade. Now, let me show you really quick. I'm going to go ahead and log in and try to do my best to not put people's personal info out there. As an example, really quick, let me show you the email that went out today. So highly recommend, if live streaming is a part of your marketing strategy, that you actually send out an email the day you decide to go live. I like to do it at 6:30. Like, I think they say like 6:23 in the software. I like to do it in the morning to try to increase my live viewership. I think that helps a lot for engagement. It's an encouragement to me that I'm not talking to myself, that there are real people asking real questions, and it just works out well. So you can see the thumbnail that I created in Canva is at the top. At the very, very top, you can see that it is brought to you by Relay. I will tell you, if you want to pursue newsletter sponsorship, you can do that in any of the platforms I'm going to talk about today. And it converts so high from email. So something to consider, even if your sponsorship is only $100 in email. If you have a targeted list for a targeted audience, it is valuable and worth it. And that could be money that you're sleeping on because you didn't think the list was valuable to anybody but yourself. So I'm just putting it out there. Brands are now paying to be inserted into your newsletter, your weekly emails, what have you, because you've taken the time to build community. And so they want to leverage what you've already built. Okay. Now, if I scroll down here, you can see here that I have a button to allow you to watch it on YouTube and to join the coffee crew. Unfortunately, in Flodesk, it does not recognize a live stream when you drop in the link to create that little video embed that looks like a YouTube video in the email. So what I do is I put the thumbnail and then I put a button to make it very clear how to watch it. Now, the Bootstrap Coffee Crew is something new. It's something that I have been doing since I had the YouTube membership as of literally last week. And it is a way for you to support the channel for $4.99 a month, which honestly, I went to Starbucks the other day. It cost me $6.38. So that doesn't even cover the coffee I get anymore, but that's fine. $4.99 a month will allow you to gain access to my Pomodoro timer videos and for you to co-work with me on Fridays, which has been a literal blast. And so I would encourage you to locate the $sign near the chat and feel free to join the Bootstrap crew at any point that you're watching a live stream. And then what'll happen, which is really cool in YouTube, is YouTube will actually tell me which pieces of content actually led to someone becoming a member. Did they watch a video on my channel that was pre-recorded? And by watching that, they're like, man, I need to get in on this. Were they watching my Monday live stream? Was it a work with me session? And so if you are feeling after watching this live stream that like, wow, this is so valuable, I want to support LaShonda, like $5 a month, no problem. It's best if you take action during the piece of content because that's even more data that goes into your YouTube channel, which is really cool. So I would encourage you, if you have a channel that has the membership ability built in, I think you have to hit a certain requirement on YouTube. Even if I've seen memberships that are literally $1.99. It just gives you even more data for you to know what do people like, what's performing well, what needs to change, what is stagnant. Now, after that, I included in information about the last coaching call of the year. The very last coaching call, if you will, for Bootstrap creators is a virtual holiday party. I ain't trying to teach you in December. We're going to have a good time. Alan's going to play music again live on the stream. So I just want people to know who are Bootstrap creators, which is my group coaching program, that this is the last coaching call. And so I was able to drop emojis easily into Flodesk. I embedded the thumbnail. It's linked to the YouTube membership. So when people click, if they're not members, it'll encourage them to become a creator. This is the kind of stuff that I wanted to do in ConvertKit back in the day that was difficult. Here's another great example of something that in ConvertKit back in the day was very hard. They've come a long way. So I'm not gonna lie to you. It's better now. But at the time, doing something like this, where I had a button, a box, multiple fonts, a photo, like that was not easily doable within the builder. I would have had to create that look in Canva, bring it in, hyperlink the image to the link. It's just a lot. Even in Flodesk now, I could even structure this where when you tap on the button through link actions, I can have them automatically added to a segment without them having to fill out a form. So if I change that button to say, join the waitlist, they could immediately be added to my waitlist without having to give me a name and email again because of link actions, which allows you to, again, segment your list. You can use link actions on polls. You can use it on images. It's a really cool thing. I did a whole video about it on the channel. So just look at the Flodesk playlist. But I love that kind of stuff because it allows you to be smarter with your marketing. And this is actually pretty simple. Like I didn't do anything crazy in the footer because I'm trying to keep it to like 3 things. so that I'm not overwhelming people. But Flodesk also has what they call favorites. So if I'm making an email and I want a specific section, like say if I go in, I'll share with you guys once I'm in it. I'm going to duplicate today's email to kind of show you what the builder looks like. All right, and then I'll put myself down here. So this is the back end of Flodesk. So you can send yourself a test email. You can save the entire email to your favorites. You can even share it as a template, and then you can sell it, which is really cool. So if you are a web designer, you could design emails that match your website templates, and you can sell that way. And when you sell your template, your Flodesk affiliate link is attached to that template link. So you also get credit if somebody wasn't a Flodesk user for them using your template. So they're really trying to think, how can I support small businesses? And I really appreciate that thoughtfulness. And so say for instance, if I wanted to, let's say this coaching call, if I wanted to add a countdown timer, I would just click that little plus sign. And back in the day, I would have to go to a third-party tool to make a countdown. But now Flodesk has all these countdowns built in directly into Flodesk. So if I wanted to go to my favorites, because I've done stuff like this before, like here's a testimonial that Lolita gave me the other day. If I wanted to bring in that testimonial block, but I wanted to put another star student in there and another testimonial, I can pull in all that styling and I'm not having to do it all over again. This is a great new addition to Flodesk, because part of the problem I had before is Flodesk emails look like Flodesk emails. And so I was heavily customizing the email. And then once I sent it, it was like, I'd have to do that all over again from scratch. Now you don't have to, because you can see all these sections here. The speaker checklist, I have that in there. I'm thinking about the Black Friday sale. So pretty much anytime I do some heavy customizations, I'm saving it as a favorite so that I am not having to continue to recreate from scratch. You can easily reorder things with the arrows, which is really nice. So you don't have to drag and drop anymore. There's tons of different things. But I think when I set this up for one of my husband's clients, what I realized that Flodesk is really good at is they are able to make editing your emails super intuitive. So if you are not a tech savvy person, you're not going to be as overwhelmed with Flodesk because it's not an overwhelm of options. I mean, even here, if you wanted to see what your email looked like on a cell phone, you can see the mobile view without having to send yourself a test email and then look at it on your phone. So if you wanted to see, how is it responding, what's getting cut off, it's all there. So for those folks who are, super into design, again, cost effective, all those different things, I will tell you, I have been so proud of them, because one of the cons of Flodesk in the past, and I'll pull this up. Here we go. One of the cons in the past was the fact that there weren't a ton of integrations because they were new and they didn't have those things negotiated with these companies. And so every time you wanted to include opting in to your email list, you were having to create a custom zap. They even integrate with ManyChat now. So when you use ManyChat automations with your Instagram, you can get them directly into your Flodesk account now. So you can see they've added more. Canva is the one that I did a lot of content about. Their integration, they integrate with Squarespace now. Wix, ThriveCard is new. ManyChat is new. Interact, Marvelous, Session, BookFunnel. There's just a lot. Okay. And obviously they do integrate with Zapier as well. So there's a ton more integrations now than there used to be. So for a lot of people, what they did is they started Flodesk. They love the pricing model. And they were like, hey, this is something that I think I may want to actually stick with. And they realized like it just wasn't a good fit because it didn't integrate. And so they were having to force the software to talk to other software through manual zaps, which is not the best. So that being said, I think that really gives you a lot of the pros of Flodesk. And like I said, I think I'm going to take it now. Like I'll do pros and cons of them at the same time. And so I would say that tons of pros of the pricing, the design, the new integrations and all of that. But again, maybe the integration list isn't comprehensive enough for you. So when you do the free trial, look at the list of things that it does integrate with. Will it require you to have to pay for Zapier to connect some of the software that you use? And then again, pricing is going to go up. So there is that. Now, Beehiiv is one that a lot of you do not know about. And I'll be honest with you, Beehiiv was new to me. I'm going to be all the way real with you. They are about to run a sale. So let me, first of all, share. That is public, right? Yeah, it's public. Okay. I was like, I hope I'm not leaking anything. Okay, cool. So this is Beehiiv, and Beehiiv just did a massive announcement last week. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I can't remember. And you can watch the full event there. And let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. So you can watch the full event if you go to my affiliate link, which is in the description of this video, for you to watch. But what they are trying to do, they were known for being like the newsletter software. And then some fire got lit underneath them. I'll be honest with you. And they decided that they wanted to be like the whole ecosystem for creators. So this isn't just like newsletters anymore. They're really going after like Stan Store. Okay. They are really trying to expand what they provide and almost becoming like an all-in-one solution for content creators who are trying to monetize online. They have engines built in for selling ads. They have ways where you can partner with other Beehiiv creators to recommend your newsletter to their audience. So growth engines are built in, so you're not as reliant on social media to grow your Beehiiv newsletter. Like, it's really wild. Also, like I said, they are about to run a massive sale. And so if it's something that you decide you want to opt into after you try the free trial, then that's going to be a really good time of year for you to do that. I actually had the opportunity to meet a couple members of the Beehiiv team at Affiliate Summit in New York, because that's something that they regularly attend. And I'll be honest, for a while, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I should be like hanging out with Beehiiv people when I'm a Flodesk girly. And it really caused me to have to figure out like what makes them different and makes them unique. And then with this announcement they just made last week, I was like, oh, they're not even like, yes, they have email marketing in common, but their missions are so different. I know firsthand that every single, I'm talking like button layout and placement at Flodesk is something that is agonized over and methodically executed. And like, it's so essential that they are at peace with the features that they roll out. Beehiiv don't give a rip. Beehiiv is like, you fitting to get all the features. You ain't going to use half of them, but I want you to cancel subscriptions to about 6 other people and use me instead. So you got to think of it more as like I said, an all-in-one solution, a creator ecosystem that allows you to email and not just email marketing with the ability to use checkout. Now, I can't speak for Flodesk. I don't know if being the creator ecosystem is something that they eventually want to evolve into. But when it comes to the tech bros at Beehiiv and Kit, that's the realm they seem to be living in. They seem to really want you to consolidate your subscriptions and to anchor in what they're building. Versus Flodesk is saying, no, girl, I want to invite multiple people to the party. I'm going to do me. I'm going to stay in my lane and I'm going to integrate with what other people are doing. I'm going to be supportive of what they're doing and just connect it to what we're doing rather than becoming an all-in-one. Because even from a perspective of email marketing, it's not an all-in-one for email marketing, because if you're a product-based business, Klaviyo might be a better fit because it integrates with Shopify and it does all these crazy automations and stuff where you're selling, trinkets. And I mean, if you have massive SKUs in your business, Flodesk is not the best fit because it doesn't help you to manage your products like that. Like, it's just not designed for that. So for me, if you have a feminine aesthetic to your brand, if you are service-based and you sell your time for money, you sell productized services, you love good design, that's your Flodesk thing. But when it comes to your newsletter being a product and not a way to communicate about your products, Beehiiv is better for that. Okay, so I hope you understand the difference. So they really started as a platform that's going to help you to make money off of the literal newsletter itself. So thinking of that more as like a Substack competitor. So because you don't think about Substack being like for selling your products and services. Beehiiv is more similar to an amplified Substack than it is to Flodesk. But technically, they're both email marketing softwares. So I hope that makes sense. So for those of you who want to paywall your content, who want to charge subscriptions for access to articles, where your articles can live in a website that's automatically updated as you send out articles, Beehiiv will be better for that. Okay, but that's a whole different mission from what Flodesk is trying to do. And that's why I'm really excited that I took the time to get in the weeds about what makes these platforms different, because at face value, you could be like, oh, I just love Flodesk, so like they can do no wrong. And it's like, well, but their attention is on different things. And so again, I would say, watch the full event. It randomly ends really abruptly. And I don't know why that bothered me so much. Like I like a little, closure, and it was just like cut off. But that was the aesthetic they were going for. So I would encourage you, click on the link in the description, watch the full event. You can watch it while you're walking, driving, on your treadmill, whatever, but it's worth seeing where they're trying to go with the brand. Okay. And I think, let's see. Yeah. So this kind of gives you like a little overview. Creators and publishers can now maximize their earning potential with guides, templates, courses, coaching, and more. Digital products turns your knowledge into income, giving you complete control over your business. Let's see. That's watching the video. Let's see. Yeah, they have referral programs, A/B testing, polls, segmentation. I mean, you can just see it's really trying to do a whole lot. And honestly, I think that's kind of the blessing of Flodesk, is that they simplify what you see. So you're not overwhelmed by it. So you actually use it. But at the same time, if you need more, you need more. It just is what it is. Okay. So again, I'm a firm believer in rock out the free trial. And then if you decide you want to use it, I typically have a discount attached to my affiliate links. And so that's a great way for you to afford Beehiiv should you choose to go that direction. All right. And now we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Good old Kit. Now I'm going to be real with you. I do not like the name. And this is not the first time that they tried to change the name. I won't go into all the drama and the pettiness of it all. But in between ConvertKit and Kit, there was another name that was briefly chosen and promptly gotten rid of. And so that, in a way, those two moves, moving from ConvertKit to that name to Kit, just showed me they're trying to figure themselves out, right? If you can't have a solid name for your business, then that shows me that you haven't really hit your stride yet. Flodesk has been Flodesk, okay? It's been Flodesk since day one. And so I think in a lot of ways, they are really into iterating and just trying to figure out like, okay, in this season, how are we best serving people? And like I said, they were the plain text email people. And then they decided like, no, that's not who we are. They also host a conference that's very popular in the creator economy. And I'll be honest, I debated whether or not it made sense for me to go. It's like, is this just like a love fest for Kit, or is this worth me attending because I want to learn more about email marketing? And I had some friends go, I asked for their feedback, and what I've discovered is that it's just legitimately a good conference, but also their target market is coming. So they're going to do their best to try to get you on their platform, but the conference itself is good as a standalone event. All right. So my introduction to Kit, ConvertKit at the time, back in the day, was Pat Flynn. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's some type of formal partnership with Pat, whether he was an investor or just one of the early adopters and whatever, an advisor. But there is definitely, they know the founder, Nathan, knows him, and they're friends, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, you have to think about the origin story of the platforms really dictate how they function. So with Flodesk, there was a lot of emphasis on small businesses are not able to execute big marketing strategies because the software available can't handle it. Rebecca was running into a lot of different issues with creating all these custom email layouts for platforms. I think MailChimp may have even been one of them, where like so much work had to be done with coding to get that beautiful look that, New York and Company or Old Navy had access to that, Mama Sue with her small mom and pop shop didn't have. And so it really was, from the beginning, a platform that was trying to level the playing field for small business owners. Now, what it looks like Kit is really trying to do, and again, you have this concept of like the creator ecosystem. They say that they want to help you to stop juggling complex marketing tasks when you could be writing, teaching, and creating. Kit automates your email marketing so you can get back to what you love. So, from what I'm understanding in this new season, is that they are the platform that has the most customization when it comes to automation. They are the automation boys, okay? Now they say down here, send beautiful emails, automate your work, earn more on autopilot, get more subscribers. But I'm trying to tell you right now, the emphasis is on the stuff that doesn't look cute, but that converts. I don't know why they took convert out their name because that's still part of their mission. But I'm telling you all this to say, if you are in a situation where people are opting into your list and you're multi-passionate, you're a photographer, you're a blogger, you're a chef, you're a Zumba instructor, like whatever, okay? It would be helpful for you to segment your list and to say, this person is on my list because they found me because I'm a Zumba instructor. What Kit's going to help you to do is to say, okay, now that the system knows that they're interested in Zumba, let's personalize the email more with their name. Let's say this section of your weekly newsletter only shows up for people who are interested in Zumba. That you're writing this entire email and there are conditions that say, if someone has this tag, show them this content. If this, then that. And so from a tech perspective, if being highly customizable is important to you, if having more automations is important to you, if having more integrations is important to you, they also have a thing called their creator network, where similar to Beehiiv, where they're helping you to grow your list. If that stuff is important to you, if you're like, my list has not been moving and I need help and posting more on social media is not the look, then that might be a situation where you would want to try using Kit or using Beehiiv. But let me give you this with a caveat. Never, I'm not going to be subtle about it. Never move your list to another email marketing software until you feel confident that that's a software you want to go to and that you've backed up your list as a CSV file. Export your list. You should be exporting your list in Flodesk at least once a month. If something happens and you lose those emails, heaven help us all, right? So even if you don't have everybody, if you have emails from October backed up on your desktop, that's going to help you in the long run, because if the pricing changes and it's no longer affordable, or the vision changes and you're not aligned, you can easily take that CSV file and you can dump it into ConvertKit, or you can dump it into Beehiiv and keep it moving. You need to be backing up your list. Your list is the most valuable piece of internet real estate you have. It is not your website. It's not your Instagram. It's not your YouTube. It's your list. Okay. For every dollar you spend on email marketing, it will convert up to $46. It's insane how much money you can make off a list. So if you don't have a list, girl, get a list. Like what I did, frankly, is in the very beginning, if you dig on my YouTube channel, I had a thing called the VIP Vault. And it was a password protected page on my Squarespace website. And I just put a bunch of freebies in there and said, if you want the password to the vault, sign up with your name and email. And I built a list long before I knew what I was going to sell to the list. I had no clue, but everybody kept saying, you got to have a list. You got to have a list. So I'm like, well, sooner rather than later, it's probably the best. So hopefully there's something on that page of value to you. And it was all sorts of random things I designed for myself that I turned into a template and just let people have at it. Okay. So I'm telling you right now, no matter what platform you choose, the sooner you start a list, the better. And the sooner you start emailing them, the better. Start with a monthly cadence if that's all you can keep up with. I'm telling you right now, I have friends who can book out their mini sessions as a photographer with one email because they email once a month. That is how much more powerful it is than any social media platform, because people are giving you access to their personal information and they've put you on a higher platform than Instagram or Facebook. People go on social media detoxes all the time, but they go and check their email. They're going to pay their bills. They're going to, check, things that are important to them. They're going to online shop, whatever. And so even if people don't log into the social platform or the algorithm is not showing them your content because they could care less who's following you anymore, you have your list. Now, I'll be honest with you. Some of the saints, they be emailing too much. And I will take that to the grave. There is a point where it is too much to be emailing, because if you emphasize everything, you emphasize nothing. So if you are emailing me every single day, you're bothering me at that point. However, I always have the right to unsubscribe when it's too much. And so I think most of us have this perception that I'm not going to email very often because I don't want to upset my audience. I don't want to piss them off. I want to keep them on my list. So I'm only going to email like every other week because I don't want them to get upset that I'm having a launch and I've talked to them too much. They can always unsubscribe. But the thing that you can really lean into to reduce your unsubscribed is to spend time with your design and also to tell stories. You don't have to sell in every email. Like truly, you can just talk to them. I sent an email out last week and I was like, oop, nobody showed up for my live stream. That was awkward. And I told the truth. I was like, well, I had an idea. It bombed. It bombed in such a way I literally had to start doing Bible study to get my heart right, because I was like, I want to cry. I want to hide. I want to what happened? Like, this software screwed me and I'm a tech educator and I should have known better and I should have been able to prevent it. Blah, blah, blah. It all worked out, Jesus saves. But I was stressed. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to tell them. I'm going to tell them the truth. Y'all, I'm not live streaming in the app anymore because you don't show up. You don't pre-register. You don't do what you're supposed to do because you're used to seeing me on YouTube. So I'm going to call a spade a spade. Let me move it to YouTube to make it easy for all of us. And as soon as I moved the membership to YouTube, my excitement just exploded. My creativity out of this world. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I got so caught up in making the software work that I forgot to serve my audience first. And it didn't kill my business. But sis was walking with a broken leg for some months. I would say at least half this year, I had spent trying to troubleshoot software that I should have just let go and just done something simple so we can all just run our businesses and live our best lives. So email itself, important to use. Whether you are using Flodesk, you are using Beehiiv, you are using Kit, girl, I don't care. I got affiliate links for all of them. I'm fitting to get that commission if you're going to sign up. I'm not pressed, but I want you to understand the difference because there are strengths for each one of them and there are cons. And the pricing is going to constantly change. So pricing can't be the only reason why you're with the platform. But I will say that the Flodesk offer is expiring. And since the unlimited emails was something that differentiated them and nobody else had that, not even they will have it after this month. If that is the most important thing, then sign up for Flodesk for that reason. Okay. I just want you to know the difference, but just know you might be sacrificing some other things by choosing the most affordable option. Okay. So that being said, I'm thrilled with how this went. I'm thrilled with how the new format is working with the live stream. I really do want you to stick with me for at least, I would say, I'm going to go over a little bit, just a teensy bit, like probably 5 minutes. I do meet with Angela at 11:15 every Monday. So I definitely have a hard stop at 11:15. But that is your education for this week about email marketing software. So I would encourage you, my friends. First of all, if you liked it, make sure you give this video a like. But I really do think, because of the work that I'm putting into these live streams, I really think that it warrants at least $5 a month. Okay. Because there are people who charge so much money. It's obscene how much money they charge to teach way less than I'm teaching for free. And so I would love for you to like it. When you like it, when you subscribe, it increases my vanity metrics, which the brands care about, which allows me to get better brand deals. And obviously, if you become a member, then that allows me to have recurring income, which allows me to take less time marketing my business and put more time into generating content for you. And I wouldn't ordinarily say this, but I'm just going to again be very honest. I can tell the difference when I have capacity to create for you. When I'm worried about sales, the content suffers. I'm not saying it's bad content, but it's not my best content. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into the behind the scenes in my business. And I want to tell you what I'm doing differently on Instagram that is actually converting and has revived my dead Instagram page. So see you in a second. All right, my friends, we have data. Love it. I want to be totally real and transparent with you about what is working. First and foremost, I'm paying them to give me visibility. And I don't know why I was so like, it needs to be all organic. I don't have time to give an app I don't like my energy. My time, my peace is worth what I'm promoting right now. So at the max, I've done $10 a day. I'm not giving them a whole lot of money. Trust and believe. I put a cap on my account that says do not spend more than 500 this month. So there's parameters, but here's the difference that it's making. In October, I only gained 17 followers. Okay. I have gained 618 followers in the last 30 days, according to Instagram. I have gotten over 100,000 views on my content in the last week. I am being seen by almost 80% non-followers. So I'm reaching all new people. I'm only reaching 20% of my followers, which is, annoying because you would think following would mean something, but Instagram is changing. Instagram doesn't care who follows you. They're pushing your content out to non-followers. You can reach your followers by engaging more in your stories. People are defaulting to their stories for people that they want to see and stay on top of. So I've been putting more effort into my graphic design for my stories, and I am actually seeing between followers and non-followers, almost 39%. So over a third of the traffic on my Instagram account is coming from my stories. More than my feed posts, more than my reels are my stories. Okay. So this is an example of a story that I posted on Friday. I would encourage you, if you only post once a week, tell people how your business is doing. Figure out a way to brag about your business. It's a way to encourage your heart going into the weekend, and it helps you to sell without having to hit people over the head. Buy now, sign up today. So I did a little review. I said I gained 244 followers because remember the last 30 days is the 618. 244 followers this week, over 5,000 views on my YouTube channel, 8 new members in my membership, which literally just started, and I hit the 34,000 milestone on the channel. And so this was the Instagram layout that I did. I did the week of November 10th review and the photo in Canva. I exported it as an Instagram story, and then I added the text inside of Instagram. So it's a combination between a photo and some in-app activity. With that being said, that was a really quick way to give you that. I want to go a little bit more in depth about what happened with the membership in week 1 of having the YouTube membership. And so that's what we'll talk about as part of the strategy corner. So again, our group coaching call is on the 20th. And that will be the last educational coaching call for the Bootstrap creators. In December, we're going to have our holiday party. What's really nice about having a YouTube membership now is I'm able to schedule these as live streams in StreamYard. They will be created on my YouTube channel, and I can mark the visibility as members only, thus creating a calendar of events on my channel. So when people look at the different membership tiers, now they're able to say, well, what's the benefit of being a member? What am I going to get? I can actually show them in my app. I kid you not. I don't know why this is a problem. I wanted to shake somebody senseless in the dev department. I can't make a calendar in my app. And I have been frustrated by this. I have paid for ad event, which was like almost $40 a month just to create a secondary calendar for people. I have had Angela manually add people to StreamYard on-air webinars. I'm like, I'm doing the best I can, but like, what the heck? I just need a calendar. I host events for my members. Why is this like a thing? And so I realized that if I create a playlist on my YouTube channel and I schedule the live streams, then it becomes a calendar. And all I did was put like a little emoji and put upcoming events. And you'll probably see that underneath of this video feed on my channel. And I'm like, when I tell you the money, just that, because I'm paying Angela to do that. And that's not the best use of her time as my assistant. I'm like, even just that alone, like phenom, right? So super grateful for that. We had our first members only, work with me session this past Friday. And at the last minute, I had a brilliant idea. I was like, okay, I'm going to paywall this for members only. They get the Pomodoro timer videos. They get the work with me sessions for 2 hours. I work with them. I coach them while I'm getting my work done on Friday. But what if I made it public just for the 9 to 11 timeframe? So while I'm live, it becomes public. And as soon as it's over, it goes back to members only, and leading up to it, members only. What that did, I gained members during the work with me session, which never happened with my other strategy. And I got an idea for a way to spice things up. I hit a roadblock as we were working. Like after we had worked for an hour, I was sick of staring at my computer. I didn't want to do anything. And I'm like, I need to move my body. Like, I think it's just like, I'm just stagnant. It's Friday. I'm done. I work half days on Friday. My brain knows that we're almost ready to be done. So let me get on my walking pad, which is literally right over here off camera. You can actually see my little dumbbells under my arm if you look close, my little 10-pound dumbbells. And I told them in the chat, I was like, guys, I need to walk it out for a little bit. I'm not gone. I'm just beside my computer. And people were like, oh my gosh, it's brilliant. Like, go for it, girl. Like, love that. Then I was like, what if we like did this on purpose? And so this Friday, we're going to do a work a little, walk a little session. So it's Pomodoro session. So 25 minutes. So for 25 minutes, we're going to get work done. And for 25 minutes, we're going to walk, whether it's a walking pad, you going out your house, putting your little earbuds in, like whatever. I'm doing the walking pad, but we're going to work a little, walk a little. So you'll have an hour of working and an hour of working, hour of walking. When I tell you, like, people are going to lose weight co-working with me. Like, this is the kind of creativity that was so stagnant trying to make tech do what it needed to do before. And now it's like, I live stream all the time. I use StreamYard once a week. Like, I have rigged this thing up where I can just turn on my lights, turn on my screen. I can live stream no makeup in like 5 minutes, no prep. And so I'm like, I was making my life so complicated just because, and I love Uscreen, trust and believe, I love them. But I was putting so much emphasis on trying to make their tool work that I wasn't focused on what's fun for me, what's good for my community. I was like trying to please them because my brain was treating it like a brand sponsorship and they were just trying to gift me something. And so as soon as I changed my perspective, it was like literally 8 members without me having to stress, because like literally I can just throw this little thing up on screen. I don't even have to talk about it, but I'm obviously doing it right now. You can become a member. You can join in YouTube while you're watching this free content. So I can produce free content and say, hey, the join button is located next to the Bootstrap Biz Device channel name. Just tap on it and you'll see the options. And so what's so great is it looks so like seamless. Like you can go inside of YouTube and you can see the coffee crew tier, the star student tier, and the creator tier right there. Now, I did do the numbers this morning because my husband was like, girl, how much money are they taking for you switching over? It looks like it's around 30%. But you know what? Although I am now, it's not that like going with Uscreen meant I wasn't paying anything. It's like the difference between right now, like 45-ish dollars gone and $20 gone with Uscreen. But then I'm paying for a lot of stuff manually. Like I was paying Advent, like I said, almost $40 a month. Now I don't have to pay for that. So then there you go, money saved. So for me, it's worth it for simplicity's sake, for the ability to reach more people. Like it just, oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. So I'm really grateful that I did that. And like I said, I do think that the community is benefiting from that. I'm also going to play around with stuff like this. I was cleaning up my Canva account. I forgot. I made a whole ebook with holiday offers. I think I've got it open over here. It's got 12 pages of 9 different strategies that you can implement for holiday offers. So anybody who becomes a member, no matter what tier it is, it could be Coffee Crew, it could be Star Student, it could be Creators. I'm just going to send them a copy of the Bootstrapper's Guide to Holiday Offers because I found it, and why not? It's useful. You can have it. So then I'm not even having to stress about making a shop listing. It's like, and honestly, Jay Clow started doing this, and I get it. He had his wife, they had their first kid, and he's like, I can't promote 10,000 offers anymore. I need a signature offer, and like, that's it. Like, I'm tired. It's just so much work. And so he's just focusing on the lab, his membership, the lab. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to focus on this YouTube channel and my YouTube membership and call it a day. Like, I may do a pop-up here or there. I might do a little one-on-one coaching. I might speak from stage. But like in terms of where I will show up for free content, where I will market to the internet, it makes so much more sense for everything to be on YouTube. And I know it takes some of my profit away, but it also eliminates expenses. And so it kind of is a wash. And so I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. So that being said, let me go back to the agenda because I think it's Q&A and we're a little bit over. And honestly, I'm not going to be streaming for like an hour and a half, but I think we might end up going up to an hour 15 because like, again, I have time for the content, which is wonderful. So again, I would encourage you to join the Coffee Crew, $4.99, cup of coffee a month just to say, girl, love it. You're helping me out. I appreciate you. And that'd be great. So I don't have to promote Buy Me a Coffee either. What I'm going to do for the next 7-9 minutes is answer your questions. And then we're going to do the giveaway and land the plane. Okay. So yes, that will be our Q&A and announcements. So let me go back up to your questions. And if you have not, I'll go ahead and put this back up. The giveaway is using AHA Slides. It's best if you go on your cell phone. Where is that thing at? Right here. There we go. So you have to go to lashondabrown.com/poll so that it pulls in. And let me make sure it does autofill for me. I put my members in there already, so they don't have to be present to win. Let me change the poll. Yes, participant autofill. Okay. So as of, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind. We're going to do the poll right now. Let's do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do so that the sound is not janky is I'm going to put in my headphones. Again, go to lashondabrown.com/poll. I'm going to play us a little bit of music. Your poll results will come up live on the screen, which is really cool. And then we'll spin the wheel and see who won. So that is what we will do. And this way you won't get feedback in the microphone. Just give me a second to plug this in. Let's see here. I believe that should have done the trick. Yep. Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to switch teleprompter screen. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. I don't need a crew. I'm doing all the switching myself. I'm giving you background music. I'm giving you live polls. When I'm not stressed about the tool, I can just, man, I can thrive. It's amazing. Oh, now why does that? Okay, let me go ahead and stop sharing this because it was hiding your response. I don't want it hidden. I want to know. Okay, responses are coming in though. Appreciate that. But I'm going to go unhide it so we can see. All right, let me go back here. Log into AHA Slides. I actually use that format of hiding the responses when I use AHA Slides for testimonials. So people don't feel like their business is out in the street. But I do want people to see your results. So I'll go to content and I'll take off hide results. And that's not hidden. That's not hidden. Okay, we're good. All right, sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and present this. And I'm going to share this screen so you can see what I'm looking at. All right. And then we're going to play some music. And I can do all of this within StreamYard. And so I think I'm going to focus on the YouTube challenge next year to StreamYard because the stuff I've learned to do, I'm like, it's worth teaching for sure. All right, my friends. So the first question for you is, how did you find out about today's live stream? So on your cell phone, you can scan that QR code, or you can go to lashondabrown.com/poll to get there. And let me know, how did you find out about it? I did not plan this, but literally the first result was my email. So this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter what you're using to email. Email makes a difference. Okay, the next question is, are you subscribed? Yes or no? Tell the truth. For those who are not subscribed, it's not too late. You can just hit the subscribe button. It's free. Just put it out there. Okay, I also put this in my poll. Who are you currently using for your email marketing software? I'm pretty sure most of you are not using Beehiiv, but some of you might be on Kit. So I know Alan uses Kit. Looks like a lot of Flodesk folks. Love that for you. All right. And if you have not participated in the poll yet, you can go to lashondabrown.com/poll now that we're on the spinner screen, and you can be added. Okay. So I will give it a couple seconds and then we'll spin the wheel. Chanel joined during our work with me session. So that's exciting. So you'll have coffee for working this Friday. Love that for you. I will double check and make sure I've got your email address to send that to you. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Oh, you're here right now. Yay. Oh, good. Send me a DM because you said lovely photo, Lolita. So send me a DM on Instagram with what email address you want me to use for your Starbucks gift card. Look at Camille being so supportive. So good. Yes, sometimes simpler is better. I'm in your club, but not using it or networking it appropriately. So I will say it, Lori. I think, like I said, I think everything in the membership has just gotten some fresh air just because I have capacity now that I'm not trying to force the app to work. And just to make it very clear, the app is not going away. I'm going to shift my focus to using the app for free content moving forward. So when I go and speak at conferences, say for instance, the Iowa Farm Bureau is bringing me back twice next year to speak to the young farmers and to do a program called Acres of Opportunity. And so I'm going to create curriculum for them to say, hey, this was great. We did Canva for Farmers. Here is a Canva for Farmers mini course in the Bootstrap app. You can check it out for a 7-day free trial or let them rent it. And it's, a one-time price or whatever. So I'll have way more flexibility for paywalling content and doing creative discount codes and structures and all that over there. But for those of you who watch me on YouTube, and this is how you learn from me, like, this is just simple. You use YouTube for yourself to cast videos to your TV, to play videos for your kids, to watch videos while you cook. Like, it's just easy. So I do like having the membership embedded into the channel itself. Lucy says, I've been using Beehiiv and enjoy it, but I think I want to pivot to Kit. Just joined and I may have missed the Kit part. I do love the idea of consolidation. So I would say it's worth, if you're using Beehiiv now, Lucy, I think it is worth signing up for the free trial. But if I were you, I would wait until Black Friday. They are going to be running. I've gotten the information already. Kit is also running a Black Friday sale. And so you'll just save a lot more money or even get some bonuses if you just wait like a week. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about that. Here we see Beehiiv is better for what I'm doing. What is best for bloggers and content creators? Again, it depends on what's most important to you. I am a content creator, but my content is primarily on YouTube, not blogging. So for me, Flodesk is great for that. I could see a lot of use in either Beehiiv or Kit in terms of their creator network and their referral programs, where you can tell them the category of content that you create is specifically, maybe you're a food blogger. And so other food bloggers and Kit or Beehiiv could recommend your newsletter, and that can help grow your list without having to use social media content. So I think it's worth doing the free trial. But that is my 2 cents about that. Okay. So I think that covered what I see here in the chat. I'm like going back. Will Flodesk add PayPal? They are working on more complex ways to collect money. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. They do have a thing called the roadmap where they publicly share like what they're working on. But there are some things that they told us about on the partner call that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. But just know more complicated ways for you to take money are coming. Let's say that. That I can say. Okay, cool. So my friends, I have my meeting with Angela, so I am going to have to scoot, but I am sincerely grateful for you. I hope you're really liking the effort that I'm putting into what I'm now calling a live business show, because at this point, I'm like, I'm doing the most, so I might as well. I am working on another roundtable with some friends of mine, local friends. We all won the Millennials on the Move Award years ago. That's our version of like the top 40 under 40 or whatever. And so they're beautiful, beautiful, brilliant Black people. I'm so excited. So we're going to do a roundtable about reputation marketing, and I'm thrilled for you to meet my friends. These are my like in real life friends. I mean, rocking with me since I was in college, like crazy. So I'm thrilled. I will have Sharice on, and I will have Nick and Brittany George. And so it's just gonna be great. So I'm waiting for one more speaker form, and then I will get it scheduled in LinkedIn and in YouTube so that you can RSVP for reminders on LinkedIn or select being notified on YouTube. So I would encourage you again, if you want to support the channel, if you enjoyed what you saw, then go ahead, bare minimum, join the coffee club, 1 cup of coffee a month, just to say thank you for the work that I put into this. But as you like to say it on the channel, until next time, ta-ta for now.